All right, welcome to Blessed Music Academy. So today let's look at interval. Intervals or interval, okay? Now, what is an interval? You've been hearing interval. What is an interval? An interval is the distance in pitch between two notes. The difference in pitch between two notes. For example, from my do to re is an interval. So the distance between do and re is an interval. The distance between me and fa is an interval. And the distance between do to fa is an interval. Do to me is an interval. So the distance between two notes, okay, or the difference in pitch between two notes is what we call an interval. The distance in pitch between two notes is an interval. Now, there are two kinds of interval or two types of interval. Number one, we have what we call harmonic interval. And melodic interval. Okay, harmonic intervals and melodic intervals. These are the two kinds of interval. Then we'll ask ourselves, what is harmonic interval? Harmonic interval is the interval that the notes or the two notes are sounded together at the same time. For example, you're having the distance between do to mi. You sound these two notes at the same time. Okay, you press them down at the same time. For example, you playing the keyboard, you bring down these two notes at the same time. It becomes what? Harmonic interval. Then melodic interval are intervals that you sound the note or you play the note one after the other. The same example, do and mi, you play your do before your mi, it is called melodic interval. So the difference is that this one is sounded one after the other or played one after the other, while this is played together at the same time. Okay, so these are the types of interval. Now there are two ways of measuring interval. Okay, one, we have numerical measurement. And then two, we have by their quality. Okay, quality, measuring by quality, and then numerical measurement, measuring by their numbers. Okay, so this is very simple. Measuring by their numbers is very simple. So we're going to look at it now. Measuring by their numbers. Okay, for example, I'm going to simplify it. For example, I have my do, re, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do. Okay, this is my 1, this is my 2, this is my 3, this is my 4, this is my 5, this is my 6, this is my 7. Okay, I would like to call this one 8 or octave. Okay, I would like to call it octave. Okay, so measuring by numbers or numerically. Okay, so if I have my do to my re, this becomes my second, because the distance between do and re is just 2, which is second. Distance between do and mi is third. Okay, that is just very simple. Measuring by numbers. Okay, distance between do and mi is just your third. Distance between do and fa is your fourth. Distance between do and so is your fifth. Distance between do and la is your sixth. Distance between do and T is your seventh. Distance between the lower do and the upper do is your octave. Okay, so that just I'm on the key of C major, so this becomes my C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C. Remember, we use 7 alphabets in music from A to G. Once you get to G, you go back to A. All right. So distance between C and D, it is what? Second. Distance between C and E, it is third. Distance between E and F, it is fourth. Distance between C and G, it is fifth. Distance between C and A, it is sixth. Distance between C and B, it is seven. Now let me illustrate it with a staff so that we have a better understanding. Let me illustrate it with a staff for those who understand staff very well. So getting your interval by numbers alone is very, very simple. Okay. Okay, so this is my C. I'm working with C. This is my, okay, this is my do. If I have this distance between my do and re, my C and D is my second interval. Okay. Now distance between C and E, this is my do to me, is my third interval. Okay, third interval. Distance between C to my F is my fourth interval. Then distance between my C to my G is my fifth interval. Okay, so you are counting, you don't miss any line, you don't miss any space. So you are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, distance between my C to my A, okay, is sixth. The distance between my C to my B is my seventh. Okay, the distance between my C to my C is my octave or eighth interval. Okay, call it octave or eighth interval. So for those of you that understand true staff, this is what interval is. This is the simplest way of knowing your interval. Well, this is the simplest way to know your interval on the key of C major. So our next lesson will be identifying intervals by their quality. This is where we will do it very well, identifying an interval by their quality. So there are 5 qualities of interval which we'll be considering in our next class. Please, when you see this video, share, I beg of you, share and comment. Subscribe, those watching on YouTube, subscribe and like. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.